first thing is to be honest with yourself.
We've got to give ourselves to this struggle until the end. Nothing would be more tragic than to stop at this point.
On the 14th of January, Tuesday, 2020, there was a sense of solemn, melancholic, disgruntled despair felt in Imo State at that judgment. People felt a sense of betrayal at their rights and their votes. As a true Democrat, how do you advise people to surmount the whale, to stay ahead of the fall of our institutions, especially in a history or in a period like this? What is your message to the Imo people?
The continual survival of our democratic system. That event has obviously put both the judicial and electoral systems on trial. And I'm certain, no matter the divide you belong to, you will know that is an issue that must be resolved somehow, one way or the other. And I have implicit confidence and faith in God that that matter would obviously be resolved. And I think it will be to the glory of God, to the sustenance of our democracy, because that's the way to go. We are meant to understand that the judiciary is the last bastion of hope for every Democrat. And I'm a Democrat. I'm a professed Democrat. I'm a committed Democrat. I'm a patriotic Nigerian. And so, but going forward, I am sure, I am certain that everybody, the bench, the bar, the laymen like us, participants, the electoral umpires, everybody will know there is need to address that question, because it's people who have talked about the mathematical impossibility. They've talked about the judicial. They can't make sense out of that legal. I'm sure maybe something is something that will be resolved one way or the other. I believe so. I believe it will resolve one way or the other. I have confidence. But like I said, that event is not enough to question my confidence in the Nigerian state, question my faith in our nation, question my faith. All it will do is to serve to strengthen our democracy. That's all we need to do. So how do we take it from there? How would that make us a better nation? I believe it will. And that's very important. And I believe that such will not. So there'll be a resolution. I'm sure people have gone into research. I'm sure people are thinking, how do we get out of this? Because you can't live in that way. Because you go with a sense of purpose to the highest court in the land. And you want to believe that I have my facts are right. And this wasn't a borderline case. Certainly not a borderline case. It was a clear case. The facts are clear. The facts are sacred. It's not missing. It's out there in the public domain. So it's not about Emeka Ihedioha. It's about our people. It's about the survival of the Nigerian nation. And I'm certain that every lover of democracy, and even those who do not really believe in, they should appreciate where we're coming from. And so you draw strength from where we're coming from, because we've gone through some dark times. And we're optimistic that going forward, Nigeria will be a greater nation. And our children, my children, several young chaps have been asking what exactly is going on. And I think that is the issue. So we should be strengthened by that fact, and everybody should get committed for us to resolve. It's a dilemma that needs to be resolved. It's a mystery. I consider it is a mystery somehow. So God should give us the strength and enablement to find answers to the questions it has raised, and it will help everyone. I don't think it's a time for show of strength. I don't think it's a time to be egoistic. I think it's a time to look at Nigeria. It's a time to think about our democratic future. It's a time to talk about, it's a time to put to test our sense of patriotism. And then for us, we all know that we must have answers to God. I'm very confident that there will be answers to the questions raised. I'm very confident about that. I'm very confident that there are many more patriotic Nigerians out there than we imagine. I am confident that the sense of despair that has bedeviled the entire Nigerian atmosphere, the sense of submission, the sense of disgust, the sense of agony, will give way to. I believe that at the end of the day, there'll be lights at the end of the tunnel. I am certain about that. I believe God loves our country, and I urge everyone to remain resolute, to be strengthened by the fact that over the period we've shown our capacity, inherent capacity to turn things around. We've shown capacity. When I came in as governor of Imo State, Imo was in the dark ages, obviously. Light has today been restored to Imo, and I'm sure God knows why He has allowed this temporary setback to come in. And I'm certain that, like I said, it will be temporary. It certainly will be a temporary setback. We'll bounce back. Our economy will grow from strength to strength again. Imo will become yet positive again, and from the events from that event of Tuesday, January 14, will emerge a greater Imo State. I'm certain. Perhaps history is being made, and the authors of that script may have unconsciously begun to set. They unconsciously set a path for a greater future for all of us, and I believe that we should be strengthened with that. There is a greater future for Imo. There is a greater future for our country. I will remain pan-Nigerian. I will remain pan-Igbo. I will remain the patriot I've been, and I am certain that from this situation we'll emerge stronger. We'll emerge stronger. There are times, and like I said, I will keep referring to my famous, very, 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 very quote in the Bible that I'm at home with. A time for everything. A time and a purpose for everything. And so there's a time, there's a reason. There's a reason, there's a time, there's a purpose. And so we'll be stronger. And this is history. And don't forget the effect of history in our lives. So this is history.
Thank you so much for your time, Your Excellency.